Losing weight is difficult, and unfortunately, your body constantly sabotages you along the way. Your body is a biological machine governed by the laws of thermodynamics. It needs energy and essential materials to stay alive. That's why you eat. The energy you get from food is measured in calories, and your body uses a certain amount to fuel essential internal processes. Your brain thinks, your heart pumps blood, your intestines digest food, your immune system fights infections, and contract muscles to move. The more intense a physical activity is, the more calories you consume. For example, walking for 1 hour burns about 260 calories. Swimming moderately burns 430 calories. Riding a bike around 600 and running can reach up to 700. If you consume more calories than you burn, your body stores the excess mainly as body fat. Approximately 1 kilogram of fat equals about 7,000 calories. It seems simple. To lose weight, you need to burn more calories than you consume, causing stored fat to be converted back into energy. To achieve this, there are 2 ways. Eat less, something we will explain in another video. Burn more calories through movement, commonly known as exercise. Ever since we were young, we're told that exercising is healthy. So working out should solve 2 problems at once, right? But reality is not that simple. Many people experience frustration because despite their efforts, they do not get the expected results. In fact, focusing only on exercise is not a reliable method for losing weight. Some studies indicate that exercise can help to lose some body fat, while others show minimal or insignificant results. To confirm this information, you can consult with our free health coach at tuvisalud.com. He will answer all health, nutrition, and lifestyle questions you may have. How can this happen? It turns out that until recently, we profoundly misunderstood what moving more means for our body, the myth of exercise. A few years ago, scientists began comparing populations in industrialized societies, where we spend a lot of time sitting, with hunter-gatherer communities that move constantly. Let's take the Hadza as an example, a tribe in Tanzania. They walk about 9 kilometers a day on average, searching for wild plants, hunting animals, digging for roots, climbing trees to get honey, and collecting water. In one day, a Hadza person can move more than an average office worker in a week. Naturally, you would expect them to burn a lot more calories. Surprisingly, the Hadza burn about the same number of calories daily as an average person in industrialized countries. About 1,900 calories for women and about 2,600 for men. Does this seem absurd? It's not a genetic issue, since the same thing happens in other hunter-gatherer tribes around the world. When observing similar situations in modern societies, the situation became even stranger. Active people who exercise regularly do burn more calories than sedentary ones, but the difference is small, just 100 more calories, roughly the equivalent of an apple. In the long run, the number of calories you burn is relatively disconnected from your lifestyle. For every kilogram of body mass, your body has a fixed energy budget that it seeks to maintain. If you gain muscle mass, you need to consume more calories to maintain those muscles, but your body will seek to keep your overall caloric expenditure stable. Worse still, when you try to lose body fat through exercise, your body sabotages you in subtle ways. When you start exercising regularly, your body subconsciously reduces other activities to conserve energy. You might use the elevator more than the stairs, spend more time sitting when out with friends, or sleep more, counteracting part of the effort made. You can overcome this temporarily. If you spent a sedentary year and suddenly start exercising without eating more, your body initially reacts by burning more calories and, indeed, you lose fat. Yes, it is possible to lose weight with exercise, but this effect tends to be short-lived. After a few months, your body adapts and starts burning fewer additional calories, slowly returning to its initial caloric expenditure. If you maintain the exercise habit in the long run, your body composition could improve slightly. Zrania. But many people find it difficult to maintain that consistency if they don't enjoy physical activity. This adaptation explains why many people experience the frustration of a plateau in weight loss. But then, what about muscles? Shouldn't they help burn more calories? Indeed, muscle burns 3 times more calories at rest than fat. Sounds impressive, but tissues like your brain, skin, or intestines consume even more. Therefore, although having more muscles does slightly influence your total energy expenditure, its impact on weight loss is not as significant as one might think. Muscles are essential for health, longevity, and physical performance, but not so much for losing weight. Strange, isn't it? Why does your body sabotage you? Your body manages a fairly strict daily physical activity budget. This configuration evolved when our ancestors had to constantly move, not by choice, but out of the necessity for survival. But today, when food is abundant and exercise is voluntary, what happens to all the extra energy that you do not use to move? To simplify a bit, and this is relatively new science, in your body there are multiple systems continuously working to perform their vital functions. If additional energy is available, these systems tend to use it, but often in a negative way. For example, when your immune cells detect an injury or infection, they activate inflammation by sending defense cells, chemicals, and fluids to the affected tissues. This process is crucial, but if the inflammation is not controlled, it becomes chronic and harmful. In fact, chronic inflammation is one of the main factors behind serious diseases, such as cancer, type 2 diabetes, heart diseases, and even Alzheimer's. If your immune system has a tight energy budget, it uses inflammation efficiently. However, with extra energy available, inflammation can go overboard and harm you more than necessary. Also, your glands produce excess hormones when you have extra calories, such as cortisol, known as the stress hormone. Cortisol is vital when you need to react quickly to dangers. For example, running away from a predator in ancient times. But if you constantly have excess cortisol due to a sedentary life with abundant food, it causes chronic stress that deteriorates your physical and mental health, increasing the risk of anxiety, depression, high blood pressure, and digestive problems. Your body evolved to move regularly, maintaining a finely tuned internal balance. When you don't meet this basic level of physical activity, your body still spends almost the same amount of energy, but now it invests in harmful or not very useful processes. For this reason, you burn almost the same calories whether you exercise or not. The scientific evidence on this is extremely clear. Regular exercise significantly reduces chronic inflammation, helps control and reduce cortisol and stress levels, and improves cardiovascular health, strengthening the heart and preventing heart diseases, improves mood and can alleviate symptoms of anxiety and depression, increases longevity, and significantly improves quality of life. A study from Harvard University revealed that even moderate physical activities, like walking for 30 minutes a day, can reduce mortality by up to 30% compared to completely sedentary people. So even though it's not the key to losing weight quickly, exercising regularly is probably one of the best decisions for living a longer and better life. Why are humans so hungry? Our ancestors had to work very hard to get calories. Sometimes they could relax, but during hard times they had to move even more to find enough food. If each extra movement had burned too many additional calories, it would have created a dangerous cycle. The less food they found, the more energy they would have to spend to get more food. It would be like going further into debt while being bankrupt, something unsustainable that would lead to death. That's why we evolved with bodies capable of moving a lot without burning too many extra calories. It was a matter of life or death. So the modern epidemic of obesity is not mainly caused by laziness or lack of movement, but because of excess calories consumed. Our evolution made us literally addicted to calories because of our incredibly hungry brain and our extremely dependent children. Human children, while adorable, require years of constant care before becoming minimally self-sufficient, something unusual in nature. Our brain uses about 20% of all resting calories, twice as large as the brain of our closest primate relatives, such as chimpanzees. This brain also takes a long time to fully develop. Through games, learning, and training in complex social skills, everything that defines us as humans. For this reason, our species had to become an extremely efficient machine at calorie collection. It is estimated that a 5-hour gathering session by a group of human hunter-gatherers produces between 3,000 and 5,000 calories, whereas our primate relatives do not exceed 1,500 calories in the same time. This ability to gather large amounts of energy was possible thanks to our large brain and the development of sophisticated social skills. In ancestral societies, each member performed different functions. Some hunted, others gathered plants, honey, or took care of the children. And at the end of the day, they shared the calories obtained, ensuring the group's survival. In other words, our insatiable desire for calories is not a flaw, but a deeply human trait that allowed our survival. However, today, this ability has turned against us, leading us to overproduce and consume excess calories. If you want to lose body fat, reducing calorie intake is essential. We will cover this topic in detail in another specific video about diets. Conclusion: you probably won't lose as much weight with exercise as you initially expected. However, you will be achieving something much more important. Restore your body's natural balance, make it more resilient, and prevent or delay diseases that could significantly deteriorate your quality of life. Exercise is not just a tool for losing weight. It's a powerful investment in health that will allow you to enjoy life more fully, for longer, and with better quality. I invite you to join my group of patients on tuvisalud.com, a platform like Facebook, but about health. There, you will receive support from people who are going through the same situation as you, and I publish articles on these topics every day at no cost to you. Join. It's free and can save your life. Don't forget to subscribe and comment. A hug. See you in the next video.